Okay, Gali, hi.
Okay, dokie. After some technical issues, this works great. I hear you 100%.
Yes, good, good, good. So the
Yes.
first thing I think we can talk about this technical thing of how to show your name on the chat.
Oh, yes, because when you write to us on Facebook, all we see is it says Facebook user and not your name. So type in chat.restream.io/FB. It's a 1 or 2 clicks, and then we can actually see it.
Excellent.
Because whoever said yo bro and wow, can't believe same voice, hello, but we just don't know who it is writing. So if you guys can do that, that'll be super helpful.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
great. Okay, Gali, just check that we are on Instagram.
okay,
You
let's
can see
see.
me, and that
Okay.
actually you can see both of us.
Okay, one moment. Yes, yes, we are.
Okay, great. Good. So we are all
Perfect.
ready. What are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we are talking about the 6 different kinds of people that there are only 6 kinds of people in life, and who they are, what to know about them, what kind of person you are, and just sort of understanding the 6 different kinds of people.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
what are we talking? So what's the
So
question?
yeah. So the first question is how would you describe and kind of how did we recognize the 6 different kinds of people? So how do we recognize them and how would you describe them?
Okay, so you recognize them by the viewpoint. So
Okay.
for example, if I take the lowest person, it's a person is a failure. He lost so much in his life that he's not trying anymore. So when a
Right.
person is a failure, basically he cannot initiate things. He will think that everyone is dead. He will think that everything has no future. And he will basically tell you, look, this is the right place for you. Be a failure with me.
Yeah.
So every person at the position he is the best salesperson for that position. He tries to put everyone above him down to him. And if he's in the middle, everyone below him up to him. That's the whole mission in his life. The more people are like him, the better for him.
Right.
So you can see that when a person is a failure, for example, he really have zero future. And for him, there's not even a past. A loser has a past. A failure don't even has a past.
So what do they have?
All they have is total. They become really physical. They have plus and minus all the time, pushing against each other. It's not that they can win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. They sometimes will look to you like that. Like a stone can look very beautiful, but they're basically a piece of the physical universe. They have no inclination that they can create anything. And all they're trying to do is to keep everything dead, not everything the same, everything dead. Because they know that every time they improve or every time they've done anything, the next thing is loser. They're going to lose. And they think that they've lost already so much that they don't want to lose anymore. So the best thing for them is the morgue. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Totally.
a
And
failure. He's
I
a
like what
failure.
you're saying. Yeah. In this, just one quick thing or to highlight, I like that you're saying that if they feel that they do improve, the next improvement up for them from failure, if they go up in life, it's to loser, which is actually up for them. But loser means I'm losing. So they prefer to just stay a failure.
That's correct.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that viewpoint is so strong that anyone that is above them will become the enemy. They really dedicated on selling their position. Every single person where he is is dedicated on selling his position. You will see that, for example, if I'm looking at a loser is generally terrified.
Right.
He's terrified because he's lost and lost and lost and lost. And all he will do, he will tell you, look, you should be very worried. You should be terrified. Everything is dangerous. You have to be careful. They're selling you being careful. They're selling you, they're really good candidate for insurance companies. They're really good candidate for medications. They're really telling you, look, everything is dangerous. This is when a person lost and lost and lost and lost. He knows, listen, everything is difficult. Everything is dangerous. There is anything that I'm doing, I know I will end up with pain. By the way, the failure do not feel pain. The failure stop feeling pain. Losers feel pain. The failure don't have pain. He's a stone. He is like, there's no pain, there's no gain also. And there's basically for him, he wants to keep the nothingness, but it's not nothing, the nothingness of something. So if he become a total something, and like a stone don't feel, he don't feel. He goes into a failure when he says, okay, I failed, at least he's not losing anymore.
Yes. So what do they feel? What does that even mean? Like, I don't feel, like, I don't feel anything.
There's no feeling. There will be total criminals. They can do the worst thing without having any responsibility. They will not even justify. A loser still justify. A failure don't even justify. He is like, it's like that, and you tell him, look, but there's a body here. You killed the person, or the guy lost because of you, or you stole money, and he will not even justify. He will say, I'm doing my best. Yeah. But he doesn't feel anything. He just has some kind of an automatic reaction that has nothing to do with life.
Wow, that's crazy. It's hard to imagine, but it's because it's so low, but also you see things like that. Like it's not far out there. You see these kinds of things or little attributes at times. Yeah. So
They are really, you can recognize them by the fact that when they talk robotically. They're total parroting. They're just repeating things that mean nothing. They can tell you, I love you, and 2 seconds later cheat you. Mm-hmm. The guy is a failure. Right. They can tell you, it's really important to help children, and 3 seconds later molest a child. Like, right. Terrible. They have zero sense of responsibility.
That's crazy. So that's at the level of failure, of course, and then above that is loser.
Yeah.
Which sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, losers is a different thing. Loser is better than a failure, because a loser still think that he has something to lose. So he has some heaviness. He can own something. He has some level of responsibility. A failure don't have any level of responsibility. He has nothing to lose because he's just a piece of stone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and someone in the chat here said everything is happening to them, which is exactly. And then Ava said, wow, very interesting. And the same person, I think it's John DePass, said career criminal, killer, and asked about suicide, which we can get to. Lori Gambino said hello, and Eva said hi. Anita, hello, and Ava, hello, and Avery Thurman also, hello. Amazing.
Hi, everyone. Yes.
Hi. So with suicide, for example, one of the questions, that would be failure. I mean, the guy is just like, even death is not a feeling. It's just...
Actually, there are level below failures.
Okay.
We will not get into them right now. A person can be below failure. We will not get into them right now. And a person that commits suicide is below failure.
Interesting.
he has a reversal. All of those things are still from 0 up. There is -1 and below.
Got you. I see.
Yes.
I
So,
see.
but we will not get into this right now. But there are levels below failures.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the 6 kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
But then below them, what? Basically, you wouldn't even consider them people anymore. What is that below?
Below that, so a person composed of a spirit,
yeah,
which is the boss.
Yeah.
Then he's got a mind, which is the sum of all the moments that you were not willing to confront, or the sum of all your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mind. And then he's got a brain, and the brain is only a device that is the interface. It's you can think about it as the USB connection between the spirit, the programmer, the mind, the limitations, and the body, which is the executioner. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the body by itself, most people think about it as a chemical reaction mechanism.
Yeah.
Actually, the body is operating based on principles of electronics.
Okay.
And what runs the body is tiny pieces of energy that get generated by entities that runs the body. When the person go below failure, the spirit is totally checked out, and the only thing that exists is the degraded beings, which are the entities. And those degraded beings, the difference between them and the body and the spirit is that the spirit is set on pro-survival actions, and the entities are set on counter-survival actions.
I see.
So when you go below failure, the person starts to become actively destructive, and the only thing that bring him any kind of joy is damaging. It's destruction. It's killing. Is blood. It's anything that's totally has nothing to do with survival.
Got you. I see.
Now, this characteristics is quite fascinating, because they will tell you also later how to move from one level to another for yourself and for others. And if you don't know those actions, because the entities will always tell you to do the opposite, your instinctive reaction are defined as the reaction that you do not due to the spirit intention, but due to the entities' destructive orders.
Okay, so just let's one thing at a time. So the first part is, where is the different levels of people, right? So I understand what you're saying, but to break it down, you're basically saying that there's the spirit, there's the mind, the body, but the body is run by sub-units or entities that basically run the show. Their purpose is to destroy, while the spirit's purpose is to create and to do pro-survival actions. Now, so just to clarify, so when you go below failure, that's when suicide enters, that's when the spirit is totally checked out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now you will see that if you take a person and he do something really bad, when he come back to himself, which means when the spirit takes some kind of responsibility over the organism, what you see is the person will say, I don't know why I've done it. It's not me. And he's right. It wasn't him.
Right.
It wasn't him, because the spirit himself is perfect. And anything that is not perfect is not the spirit, It's the entities. Now, does this do not reduce the level of responsibility from the spirit? The spirit need to be responsible. The fact that you did not do it do not mean that you are not responsible.
Right.
I'll give you an example. I didn't, if I was in Nazi Germany and I was a German and I didn't kill the Jews, it still do not reduce the level of responsibility from I've been there, I saw it happen and I said nothing. That's what happened with the spirit. It sees the Nazis, the entities, destroying everything, but it says nothing.
I see. And interesting. Yes. So it needs to basically say, hey, I'm responsible here and I'm running the show.
Exactly. And that's why we're doing this, to get the spirit, to get a person that's listening, to get the spirit realizing, hold on, there's pieces of truth here. There is such thing as something that happened that is not me. And we call it at the moment entities. And I know that despite how bad I am, the spirit still know. Even if the entities totally took over, the spirit still knows somewhere. And once you hear it once that you are the boss, whatever happened, you can reduce your responsibility to zero, but somehow you will know it's you. So when you hear it the first time, it's me, always, it's always me, even if it seems that it's totally disconnected from me, whatever happened, at one point, you will realize it's me and you will start climbing up. That's the value of what we're teaching right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's basically just showing the way to responsibility for the spirit, for anyone listening, that there's the option of, hold on, I can be responsible for this show.
Yeah. Whatever happened, it is at the end and at the beginning and in the middle. It's me. And the question is, am I going to acknowledge it or let the destructive entities do whatever they want?
Yes, I see. And so because I have a question about it, but I know we're talking about the 6 kinds of people. So that's why just quickly, without going too much off of it, but why would a spirit let go of their responsibility?
That's a very good question. If I do something, I do it because because I'm good and I want a good result. Okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If due to whatever reason, and we can learn what those reasons are, the result is less than what I expected, and I got convinced that I've done something bad, what will happen to prevent me from doing bad, I will say, okay, fine, I will not do it anymore. When you do it, the entities will do it.
Yeah.
You will see, if you try to learn how to dance and you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail, you say, oh, you know what, I don't like dancing anymore.
Yeah.
But you didn't like it at the beginning.
Yes. Right.
Yes, that's why you started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you fail because you're good, you want to protect others from your bad behaviors, you stop taking responsibilities, the entities take over, and that's what happened. And you will see that when you make someone wrong, you tell him, you wrong, you wrong, you wrong, you wrong, you actually bringing destruction, because you take the spirit away, you push the spirit away, and you bring the entities in.
I see.
But the fact that you tell him, look, you are wrong.
Right. Well, wrong, yes. But yes.
Yes.
Got you. No, for sure. I see. So that's why making someone wrong, even on a small scale, is so destructive, because you push away the spirit to some degree. So every time the spirit gets knocked down, again and again, eventually it decides to drop responsibility, and it shoots itself in the foot every single time. Even though it thinks maybe it's a good thing, it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
The
intention is good. The intention is always good. The results are terrible.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Got you. Okay, so that answers that. So then back to the 6 different kinds of people. So we only spoke about 2 so far. We said that the lowest level is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And we described that. And then we said above that is a loser. and we kind of described that. So then what's above that?
Okay, so the first thing to know that wherever you are, let's say you are a loser, it will start to re-stimulate, to turn on the manifestation of a failure. Before you are a failure, it will start to show those manifestations, those characteristics of a failure will happen. But on the other hand, if you are a loser and you start to do the actions that a mediocre do, which is the next level, you will see that you will be pushed up.
Right.
So the action that you do where you are, if you do them with the intention of getting one level up, they will get you to one level up. And if not, they will get you one level down.
I see. Yeah.
So the action that you do in each one of these levels are extremely important, because they will define if you're going to go up or you're going to go down. And those actions, you need to learn them, because while in the physical universe, everyone agree that there are very specific physical laws, there are spiritual laws that if you understand them, they will actually be the one that will move you up, because this type of people are type of people not because of their body, because of the situation. Up to that level and below, you always have that situation, that type of person, that beingness, you can say, that you take on due to your spiritual condition, not due to what's happening physically.
I see.
So every action that we will take is based on your viewpoint. And if your viewpoint will be, okay, I'm going up, you will go up, and this action that you need to do will be specific action that will take you up. And if the viewpoint, I'm going down, the action that you will do will accelerate going down.
I see. Got
so you can see a person in one condition, let's say he's a loser, okay? And you can see that one person, you put him in a situation, but his viewpoint is I'm going down. So he will improve the company. He will improve the situation. He will improve his life. And you take another person in exactly the same situation, and his viewpoint is I'm going down, and he will accelerate the going down.
Right. Yes, I see. So basically, to move up, you just need to put your attention, your viewpoint on actions that will move you up. But so many people, when they're in a specific level, all they see is the next level down. It's like when you're walking on a tall bridge, you can't help but look down, and then you get terrified even more. So when you're on, let's say you're a loser, you don't look at, oh, how do I go up? You look, oh my God, all I have left is failure. So that's where you go.
Yeah, what they look is, I don't want to fail. It's the resistance that brings the condition. Resistance is keeping close in order to avoid.
Yes.
It is the moment that you start to resist the lower level that you bring about the lower level.
Yeah,
it's
I see.
The resistance that brings the condition.
True, because you actually, even on the bridge example, you say, oh my God, I don't want to fall.
Exactly.
You know, yeah. So, and then that's when you get the whoa feeling.
That's when you fall.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Okay, so then you have the loser, and they have to decide what they put their attention on if they want to go up, which is basically what we're teaching in the fundamentals, is what the viewpoint is and the information to move you up in whichever level you're at. But the level up from loser is mediocre, right? You mentioned it a little bit earlier. So what is mediocre?
So for the loser, he has something to lose, but he realized he already lost. Okay, right. The loser realized he lost and he's losing, and he's now trying not to lose. Okay.
Yeah.
The mediocre, you can look at the mediocre, and it is a person that think that he's stable. He thinks his life is okay. He's earning a salary. His life is basically okay. He's married. He has some children. Nothing is too violent. Everything seems to be just okay in his life. And he basically says, it's okay, so I need to do nothing because everything is fine. And he doesn't, he's afraid of losing.
Right.
With the loser afraid of failure, he's afraid of losing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are afraid of losing, you will fall into loss. So the mediocre is basically a person that see life as a long line of and he hope that is not the sound of his heart stop beating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's
Yes.
really trying to keep everything as it is. He's not changing anything too violently, but he can. But he's not, unlike the total failure, that for him everything seems also kind of okay. I'm a stone, but the stone don't feel. The mediocre feel. The mediocre receive data. The mediocre realize the thing happened, but he nullified them. He
Yes.
nullified the data. He take the data, he realized the data, and he justify why it's not so bad.
I
So
see.
yeah,
So the mediocre receives signals, warning signals. There are indicators that show, look, we're declining, and he doesn't believe it, doesn't even take it into consideration. He thinks everything's stable. This reading is wrong.
yeah. He's basically said the decline is not so bad because look, everything is okay.
Right. If I look around, I don't know.
Everything
I
is
have
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, you can take a person that let's say is 25, 30 years old, and he has a job and he works in this job for the last 3 years, and every Saturday, every weekend he drinks a few beers, and every Monday he hates going back to work, but he is going back to work. Every Tuesday when he come home, his wife is upset with him. Every Wednesday he go out with his friends to the bar, and everything is kind of a repeating thing. And every Thursday he decide, okay, next week I'm going to start a diet, and he's putting on weight slowly. He become slowly more less agile. Everything is very slow. So when he looks from the outside, he will tell you, look, in the last 2 years, everything seems perfect. He doesn't see the change. And then one day he get fired. One day he realized he cannot pay his bills. One day he become a loser. His wife just left him. He just realized she cheated him all of those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's one day that he get like, my children are on drugs. Or one day he doesn't he thought that he looking at everything stable, and he cannot see because he doesn't want to see. He knows, but he doesn't want to see. And when it happened, he says, oh, I should have known. When he become a loser, he said, I should have known. The writing was on the wall, but the wall
Right.
was from ice, so I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Yes. Yeah. And that is so common. It's so common. I don't know the percentage, but I would guess at least 80% of the world is like that, if not
80%
more.
80% is of the world is like that, and they intensifying it by taking drugs that even make it worse. When a person start to take drugs is when he hit mediocrity, and he get the information and he doesn't want to get the information, so he start to take drugs. So he start to take joint from time to time, just over the weekend, and he start to drink a little bit more, just every month, 1 glass of wine, very exact, not 1.5. It's every day. It's 1 glass of wine. Over the weekend, it's 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps everything just below his consciousness, just below. He knows, and every time that when the things start to go down towards a loser, he increase the dosage, so he cannot see it. So he become a loser, and he doesn't even know that he's a loser. So he got to a smaller apartment, he get divorced, and things got, but he doesn't really know. It's all justified.
Yeah. Yes, totally. And masked, heavily masked.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all covered. I mean, what's there is just, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's too common. So, by the way, we on the chat we had Farida that said hello, and Facebook user, wow, big realization. And Pedro said, what a trap. Can see many of these. Absolutely. You see it too often. Anita said, this sounds like a plot line for the show Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And hi, Umayma Jan from Farida.
Okay.
Nice. So, okay, that is very visible. So would you say the majority is in mediocrity in that level?
The majority today depends on which country.
Okay.
Is in a different condition. The worse, the more the demand for production, the better the conditions. So you will see that most, if I'm looking at, for example, the US, I would say that most of the people in the US are at the level of losers.
Oh, wow.
Down drugs. Yeah, down drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
They owe money. They cannot pay their bills. They live on credit. They have no future for the kids because the kids go to a school that cannot teach them anything. So every generation become a little bit worse or much worse. And the handling for that is more and more computers that will tell you what to do. And the government become more computerized and less human. And the reaction is more computerized from people and less human. And most of the people there are losers.
Yeah. Wow. So losers, okay. Not mediocre. I would have said mediocre. Mediocre is the average.
No, mediocre is when things going more or less the same. But what you have in the US is a drop. When you have people that willing to kill each other because he's supporter of Trump and the other guy is supporter of Biden, when you're on the same team, you stop being a mediocre. How a group become insane? The people start to attack internally each other instead of attacking externally the opposition.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So the US have a lot of opposition, and they're fighting internally so much so that they are willing to do things that, on the one hand, give up any freedom. So 9/11 happened, and all of a sudden everyone can strip you and take you and look to you and blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, totally impose an opinion. Losers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it seems literally like insurmountable to climb out of that for a majority of the people that are buried in credit, that have the school system for their kids. It's horrible that they can't.
So simple. I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. A person that is buried in credit, if you will do just the one thing, I'll give you one handling for that. And this is part of what's the handling. But specifically, if you are buried in credit, if you will do the following, every single dollar that you get, take 10% and put aside. Not saving, you put it aside. It's not your money, you put it aside. If you do only that, within 5 years, you will not be in debt. Why? Because you have less to spend on the one hand, so you will be forced to produce more because you always produce as much as you need.
Right.
You just need to convince yourself that you need to produce a bit more. Yes?
Yeah, true.
So number one, you will produce more. Number two, you will start putting money aside, and you will all of a sudden have the viewpoint of, yes, I cannot reach it, but I'm rich. You change the viewpoint. This is what we said. The intention all of a sudden is, oh, one second, I'm not so bad. I'm actually, you start to, what is success? Success is the sum of all validated improvement. You start to validate improvement, you will become successful. Of course, there are many more things that you can do and should do. But if you do just this one action, you will get out of that.
I love that. That's a simple, and also the thing I like about it is, if you do that, it makes you the one in control over your money, as opposed to you are constantly feeling like the money is being taken from you because of your debt, so you're not in control. If you just set aside, you have, hey, this 10%, I'm controlling and I'm putting it aside.
Yeah.
And what by the way, what do you do with that 10%? It's aside, and then what?
You cannot touch it. It's closed for 10 years. You cannot touch it for anything. It's like, even if you die, you cannot touch it. And
So
what I do usually with my student is they put it aside. It's their money, but I have to sign for them to use it.
I see.
I cannot take it for myself, but if they want it, they have to come to me and I have to sign. And I never learned how to sign.
Yeah. So but okay, so you put the money aside, 10%, but shouldn't you put it at 10% to pay off your credit faster?
No.
So then it's really gone.
No, it's gone. It's aside. You put it aside. This is step number one. You put it aside. First of all, how do you fix any problem? You make the problem bigger.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
I know that principle, but how do you explain that to someone? Because if they feel like I have huge problems, the last thing I need is another one.
Yeah, I know. The only reason you have a problem is because you don't have enough problems. But quotes aside, but if I'll give an example, you don't have money, you don't have money, you don't have money. And all of a sudden they come to you and they say, you need $10,000 for a course. And you say, no, there's no money. I don't have $10,000 for the course. And there's no, I know I need that course, but there's no $10,000. And then another guy come to you the next morning and say, you need $20,000 to save your eyes, because otherwise you will become blind. What do you think? You will find $20,000 or not?
Yeah, you will.
You'll find $20,000.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
It's just a viewpoint. The viewpoint defines the results, not your actions. Mm-hmm. Your viewpoint defines the results. The actions are just the dramatization to show that you are not so powerful as just to postulate or to say that it happened, because you will make everyone upset. You become a magician. It's not so good.
Yeah.
So it's not your action. It's your viewpoint that defines your results.
Got you. The viewpoint. So the viewpoint is actually the driver, and the results is the car. But if you improve the driver, you can improve the car, basically.
Yeah, you basically take a mediocre car with a good driver, you have a winner. Or if you take the best car with a mediocre driver, you have a loser.
True. Yeah, true. Okay, I got it. I got you. So, by the way, that's a great tip about the 10%, just for people that they can do that right away. So the 6 kinds of people, who they are, what to do with them, which one are you, how do you improve yourself? So we've said so far 3. We've said there's the failure, above that is the loser, above that is the mediocre. You would think the majority is mediocre, the majority is loser. But above mediocre, we have, what is it?
The improver.
The improver.
Yeah. Now, this guy is a person that get information. He get a lot of the data correctly. He's not losing too much data, and his intention is to go up. He's willing to take risks. He's willing to move, but everything in moderation. Everything he will tell you, yes, everything needs to be done in moderation. He goes to the gym, he will pick up 80% of what he can, not 120% of what he can. Mm-hmm. Everything will be in moderation. Everything will be, okay, I want a slow and constant improvement. and he will get slow and constant improvement. Now, this is good. It's very good, because for as long as you are with this viewpoint, you will not be able to escape the win. How fast you will get a win, how fast you will move from just improving to the wow, I'm rich, which when you have a big win, where you will have this big deal, where you will have this big improvement in your life, is just a matter of how much you're willing to push while being an improver. So an improver is a person that is knowing that is going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He is willing to do what it takes, and he's willing to do it consistently, and he's willing to every step of the way to look and say what's good, and to report to himself that it was good, and to see what was not so good, and to report to himself that it was not so good. And in both cases, he's happy. He's willing to experience the good and the bad. And by looking at that, he's always improving. And one day he's like, whoa, a billionaire. It's like, if you are an improver and you continue with the viewpoint of going up and not getting I don't want to be mediocre. If you don't have this thought, I don't want to be mediocre, it's dangerous. If you don't have that thought coming in, it's inevitable for you to become a winner. You will become a winner. There's no question about it. It will take a year, it will take a month, it will take 3 years, but for as long as you continue consistently, you get results. And this is where you will see that most athletes and most people that are actually doing well will tell you consistency is 90% of the road. It's true, but it's consistency with the view up, not consistency with the view down. It's not a mechanical consistency. Okay?
Yes, I like that. So you need to keep your eyes up, and it's a kind of like a slow and steady wins the race mentality, but slow and steady towards the win is where your point of view is.
Exactly.
And okay, so that sounds actually pretty good. And
it's very good, yes.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, but there's 2 more levels above it, which is interesting. So before we get into what that next level is, I want to see what is written here. So I see, for me, it cuts off at a certain point, but I see Farida said, beautiful conversation. And Omaima said, love the topic you choose to talk about. Addiction to drugs and alcohol and telephone are a big problem in the world. True. And Anita said, simple, sounds awesome. Anita said, so if we always produce as much as you need, then good to create the intention or need for more. Is creating debt subconsciously increasing the need for more?
No, because debt is not a need for more. You create debt that you're comfortable with. You need to create the demand for production. How? You create such a level of debt, and now someone come and say, I'm taking 10%. Whoa, you need to increase the production.
Yes.
It's more than what you're doing right now. So on a gradient scale, you come and you say, okay, fine, I'm fine. I can live with 100,000 debt that grows by 5,000 per year, and you're fine with that. If one day you come and say, no, there is a gun to my head, someone taking from me every month $2,000, you will see that at the beginning you'll say, whoa, what will I do? And before you know it, you will make $2,500 extra.
Yeah.
It just happened like that. That's the laws of the physical universe.
Right.
That's controlled by the laws of the spiritual universe.
Yes, I see. So basically the debt is not good. And what happens is people will, let's say they make $1,000, just for easy number, $1,000 a month. Okay. Now they grow in debt, but they never make more than $1,000. And what you're essentially saying is, no, you need to start making $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, good. And Anita said that sure rings true. Thanks, excellent. So that answered her question. Amit said love it. Lorna said fascinating, and Earthwa, I think, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My father was a hard worker, and now he can't stop working even after his retirement, which is good.
That's good, because the only joy in work is work. And if you cannot make your work wonderful, joyful, amazing, unbelievable, you basically suffering. Yes. And for as long as he works, he has a purpose. And if he doesn't have a purpose, he will die. The day a person dies is when he has nothing to wake up for. So he dies, he doesn't open his eyes. But if you have a reason to open your eyes for, even if your body is totally broken, you will open your eyes and you will still be alive and producing and kicking.
True.
Most of the people think about hard work as a difficult work. 90% of the Western world do not work hard. What do? You drive a car. You click on the keyboard. Sometimes you have to work very hard and to go all the way to escape. Wow. Sometimes you're really getting like stressed because you need to move your hands to the mouse. Answer cell phone. Look at Instagram. Write a letter. Answer an email. Drill a hole. Even a builder, what's the builder do? They take the brick and put it on. Yes?
Yeah.
Nothing is really hard. You want to see hard work as difficult? Look 50 years back or 100 years back.
Right.
When there was no air conditions, when there was no cranes, when if you didn't work, you'd just die. Yeah?
True.
So that's hard work.
Agreed. Yeah. So we have the 2 next levels, but we're running a little low on time. So the people that saw the fundamentals last week, they knew what the 5th level was, but they didn't yet find out about the 6th level. So what I suggest, and you can tell me what you think, is the replay is available to find out what the 5th level is. And to find out about the 6th level, that's actually what I'm going over this Thursday.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this? I would suggest we...
Yeah, basically people should join the fundamental. This next week you should do also for free. I know it's a paid. So I suggest that you do it for free so anyone can join it. And I think that what's amazing about the fundamentals is that you're going to give the exact step-by-step actions you need to do in order to take yourself from wherever you are and move yourself up to the 6th level.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, never mind how low you are, never mind what limitation you have, never mind how old you are, never mind how sick you are. If you will do those steps, you will move up to the 6th level. And even if it will mean that that 6th level will be realized in next lifetime, you will get it. You will get it. So it is time now to do it. If you want to improve, if you want to actually not go where everyone going, which is down, if you don't want to be like everyone else that resisting the next level up, what the fundamentals will give you is where you're going to. And where you're going to is your mental magnet. It's the magnet that will push you up. It's the thing that will give you the correct viewpoint. So you will improve.
Wow, exactly. And last week was fascinating. I agree that everyone should join this Thursday. We'll open it up. I think it'll be the last time we open it up to just anyone because it is free, paid. So we're open up for free. And if anybody wants, by the way, to see the replay of the first one, they can speak to me, and it will be also, the replay for the first one will be on the site here on meirezra.com/fundamentals. And that's it. That's how you can find out that 5th level. And on Thursday, we'll go over the 6th level as well.
And we'll start to give the steps of what you
Yes.
need to do in order to move up. Practical, simple steps that anyone can do. Anyone, regardless of how bad is your situation, regardless if you're on drugs or not, if you're on medications or not, regardless if your body is in a good condition or bad condition, regardless if you owe 50,000 or 100,000, regardless if you've done a lot of bad things in your life or little bad things in your life, because there's no one that did no bad things. Regardless how bad you think you are, this thing will give you the tools for you to realize that you are perfect, that anything that was not perfect with you was not you, and that you can fix anything that ever happened once you, the boss, is here. Once you're at home, once you arrived, once you say, the boss is home, once you have that viewpoint, you will see that with very, very, very little information, you'll be able to change your life. So wherever you are, good or bad, your life will change, and that's guaranteed. So
it's very exciting, and that's exactly what we're doing on Thursday. So I really hope everybody joins, especially now that we've actually opened it up. So go to meirezra.com/fundamentals. In a few minutes, I'll have the link up for people to join for free for this Thursday, which is actually super wow, because we usually don't do that. So I think that's a great opportunity for people.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, let me just see the last few comments. We had Lorna that said fascinating, and a Facebook user said, yes, right, amazing, wow, the boss is back. Anita,
Exactly.
Last class was amazing. Look forward to next class. Wow, thank you. And Gilberto said, thanks for giving. Last time my sons enjoyed for 30 minutes and enjoyed. That's great. You're very welcome. Farida, thanks. Lovely. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Abba. Love
Thank
you.
you, Mommy. I love you. Thank you for everyone for joining.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining. Absolutely. Most importantly, it's the best to have an audience that chats and is involved and shares it. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And Gali, thank you for coming back home. Mwah.
Yes. Mwah.
I love you. I love you. And Mariah, if you're listening, we need you back.
Yes. Mwah. Get on a plane.
Mwah. Get on a plane. Okay. Bye,
okay.
everyone.
Bye.